Dear Lady Love TV,
Billionaire's Wanted Assassin. Tunghayan na po natin ang ika-6 na bahagi. Minsan naiisip ko na baka nga iyon na lang yung lusot natin dito. Worse, that easy death is too good for the likes of me. Ali, hindi lang pala siya nag-iisip ng ganon. Alam mong babalikan kita para ituloy ang misyong to. Royce, it may be a lot easier if you just kill me now. Tumayo lang doon si Ali. Parang hinihintay na gawin niya ang sinabi nito. Nang hindi siya kumilos ay tinungo na ng kaibigan ng helicopter. Just before she took off, Ali saluted Royce. She watched as the helicopter heads towards the horizon meeting the sun. Dinampot niya ang baril na inihagi sa kanya ng kaibigan at pagkatapos ay naghanda siya ulit pababa at naglakad. Pabalik sa kanyang unit. When she opened the door, Nigel paled at the sight of blood on her face and clothes. Nigel's face was hard with anger. Royce glared at him. But when he only took her by hand and made her sit down on one of the dining table chairs, he didn't ask her where she had been or what happened to her clothes and face. He didn't even ask about the gun that she laid on the table. Ginamot lang siya nito. Ngunit hindi kagaya ng unang beses siya nitong gamutin. Ngayon ay marahas nitong idinidiin ang basang tuwalya sa kanyang dugo ang labi. Aray! Iwinaksin niya ang kamay ni Nigel. Sinuntok nito ang mesa sa harapan nila. Fuck, Royce. Galit nitong buliyaw. Tumayo ito at lumapit sa isang backpack. Alam niyang nasa basement ang kotse ni Nigel at malamang kinuha nito ang bag doon habang wala siya. Nakita niyang binuksan nito ang zipper at naglabas ng mga sealed plastic containers. May tig-isang vial na laman ng mga iyon. Here, ipinatong ni Nigel sa mesa ang vials ng sleeper peptide. Iyan ang kailangan ng gagong Afi na yon, hindi ba? Ibigay mo na yan sa kanya para matapos na ang lahat ng to. Talikuran mo na ang pagiging agent mo sa Orion. If he wants the machine, I'm willing to give you. It's occasion. Hindi nakasagot si Royce. Hindi siya lubos na makapaniwala sa sinabi ni Nigel. Namayani ang nakabibinging katahimikan sa pagitan nila. Oo, Royce. Basag ni Nigel sa katahimikang iyon. Hindi pa rin nawawala ang galit sa boses nito. I know about Orion from the first time you slept at my place. I recognized the transmitter in your earrings. It was the confirmation I needed to verify that you are one of the Orion assassins. You're a spy? Sa wakas ay natagpuan ni Royce ang boses. Pagak tumawas si Nigel. No. Mataman siya nitong tinitigan sa mga mata. I'm just a bait in the Orion mortal enemy. Who sent you? Nagsalubong ang mga kilay niya. Myself. Pagkasabi niyo na inangkin ni Nigel ang mga labi niya in a strong, passionate kiss. She felt the sting of pain from the wound on her lips. She wanted to pull away from his kisses, but her body demanded otherwise. She placed her fist at Nigel's chest, wanting to hurt him, but her hands only stayed there. His arms encircled her, and he carried her up the table. She moaned as she pushed her legs apart without releasing her lips and pressed closer to her. Royce gasped as Nigel undressed her, revealing her entire body to the eyes of a man who was now a stranger. He leaned forward to kiss her again while she pushed her fingers into her hair. He began to remove his shirt and unzip her pants. She released another gasp as his erection brushed her eyes. She heard Nigel whisper her name. She opened her eyes to see his, that were fiery with desire, their lips only breaths apart. Who are you? She asked, her voice soft with helpless wanting. Hindi sumagot ang binata. Hinaplos nito ang kanyang mukha at muli ay sinakop ang kanyang bibig. They were kissing again, and this time, she was responding with desire. Napasinghap siya nang paghiwalayin ni Nigel ang kanilang mga labi at sinimulan nitong hagkan ang kanyang dibdib. Kinagat-kagat nito ang isang tuktok niyon at hinaplos ng kabila na naghahatid kay Royce ng labis na sensasyon. Napaliyad siya nang maglakbay ang mga labi nito, pababa hanggang sa marating nito ang kanyang pagkababae. Nigel was licking her, making her wetter. She moaned at the pleasure from what he was doing to her. Kakaibang init ang nararamdaman niya sa ginagawang iyon ng lalaki. Kasunod niyon ay ang pagtuwid nito para yakapin siya. Pagkatapos ay ang pag-arko ng kanyang likod at ang pagsinghap ng angkininsiya ni Nigel. Noong una ay marahan ng pagkilos nito hanggang sa bumilis ng bumilis sa mga pag-ulos. Nigel, habol ni Royce ang hininga sa ginagawa nito. His body was tormenting her with pleasure, with his hard thrust. He was good. He was hot and he was pleasing her in every way imaginable. Nigel, he thrust harder, as if every time she called out his name was an invitation to do so. And Nigel did thrust harder, harder, harder until Royce felt her orgasm explode inside her. She screamed his name, but he didn't stop. His movements only became stronger, that she couldn't object. She was already weak with satisfaction, but she couldn't help responding to him. Royce moaned as his mouth found her breast, licking and biting her nipple with hunger. He moved to her other breast while continuously thrusting into her. She made a sound of protest when Nigel pulled himself away, but he only do was pull her up from the table until they were both standing. He kissed her hungrily, then turned her away from him and pushed her to lean down on the table. Before parting her legs, she had no idea what he was doing until she felt Nigel enter her from behind. Ah, she moaned with pleasure. He reached for her breast and cup with his hands. He was doing it again, thrusting stronger, harder, better this time. Nigel, just like before, his thrust became wilder when she called his name. Finally, she heard his voice. I love you, Royce. She moaned harder, louder. He thrust deeper, and then they both climaxed. Heaven. But Nigel didn't stop there. He pulled out of her and lifted her back to the table, kissing her gently. They were both bat and sweat, two bodies pressed against each other at the table. Who are you? Royce asked. I'm your lover, sweetheart. Tumayo ito at nagsimulang isuot ang mga damit na nagkalat sa sahig. Hindi nagsalita si Royce. Tinitigan lang niya ang lalaki na siyang nagdala sa kanya sa rurok ng ligaya. Nanatili siyang hubad sa ibabaw ng mesa habang matamang naghihintay sa paliwanag nito. She felt sore and tender in several places. Kumilos na siya para pumunta sa banyo. How? Igik niya nang itapak ang isang paa habang pababa ng mesa. Binalian yata ako ni Ali. Agad siyang dinaluhan ni Nigel. Isinuporta nito ang mga bisig sa kanya. What's wrong? Pumiksi siya sa hawak nito at bahagyang lumayo. Nothing. Nagiging maarte ako pag nasa paligid ng lalaking to. He's going to be death of me. Damn it. Mura nito. What was I thinking? I shouldn't have. You should have fucked me in my condition. Pumasok na siya sa banyo. Hindi matagalan ng mga mata ni Nigel na nakatingin sa kabuuan niya na nag-uumpisa ng mga sul sa ibang parte. Don't worry. An assassin like me could take it. Lumabas siya ng banyo na nakatapis ng towel at muling hinarap ang lalaki. And you were angry. At ginamit mo ako para ilabas ang galit mo. Damn it, Royce. It wasn't like that. Because you said you loved me while we were having sex. Tumawa siya ng mapakla. I believe men do that all the time. Not this man. I love you. Pero hindi mo ako kayang tanggapin. Gusto mong talikuran ko ang tanging buhay na alam ko. At kung sasabihin ko sa iyo ngayon na hindi pwede, kaya mo pa rin ba akong mahalin? Would you still love me? Natahimik ito, and when he finally spoke, Nigel didn't answer her question. Orion killed my father, he said. Do you remember the hijacking that led to the World Legacy's skyscraper's destruction? Tumango siya. Ang Sky Engineering ang nagdisenyo ng building na yon. Nagtatrabaho para doon ang daddy ko at kasama siya sa mga engineers na nagdesign. But my father discovered something. A kill order was placed on him by the company. Anong ibig mong sabihin? An Indian terrorist group was said to be the brains behind the attack. But later I figured out that the Legacy was self-destructing building. It is designed in that way. Aside from being a center of commerce, it was also where delegates from the United Nations often met. The venue was an ideal place for assassinations. So alam na ni Nigel na na-frame-up job iyon para palabasin ang nasabing Indian terrorist group ang may pakana ng pagguho noon. Pero paano nito nalaman ang koneksyon ni Avin sa Orion? Saan galing ang impormasyong yon? I studied the blueprints my father left. It was with him when he was rescued after the destruction. Nagsimulang kumabog ang dibdib ni Royce. Kung ang ama ni Nigel ay dating empleyado ng Sky Engineering at ito ay nasa building nang mangyari ang terrorist attack, ibig sabihin ay malaki ang posibilidad na natuklasan ni Dad na substandard ang mga materials na ginamit sa building. The building was not designed to stand for as long as it did. Nasa original specs na kailangan iyong i-demolish after 50 years. Pero may lumabas na bagong specs na nagsasabing tatagal ang building ng 60 years. Umahon na ka ba sa dibdib ni Royce? You said your father survived? Maybe this lover of hers was not a stranger after all. Baka ayun ang dahilan kung bakit umpisa pa lang, pamilyar na ito sa kanya. Nagkita na ba sila noon? Nailigtas siya ng mga rescuers mula sa guho, but he was in a coma for years. Naging malungkot ang boses ni Nigel. I had high hopes that he would still wake up. But one day, a woman came up to the hospital and shot my sleeping father right in front of me. Apparently, nasukol na kami ni Aven. Nagpalipat-lipat kami ng medical facilities sa kabila ng kondisyon ng daddy ko. It was not the first attempt on his life while he was incapacitated. Nahigit ni Royce ang hininga. It was hard for her to breathe, even to speak. What's the name of your father? David Park, sagot ni Nigel. Tuluyan ng tinakasan ng kulay ang mukha ng dalaga. Albano is my mother's maiden name. Patuloy nito. Sunod-sunod na malalim na hininga ang pinakawala ni Royce. I killed your father. I'm sorry. Sa huli ay iyon lang ang nasabi niya. It's not your fault. It is. Hinawakan ni Nigel ang kamay niya. She immediately pulled away. Para siyang napapaso sa hawak nito. Muli ay inabot ni Nigel ang palad niya. Sa pagkakataong iyon, ay hinayaan na lamang niya ito. Sasamantalahin niya ang oras na kaya pa siyang hawakan nito. Dahil sa sandaling nalaman ni Nigel ang totoo, galit ang madarama nito para sa kanya. So yes, she would let herself be selfish now. Let herself feel Nigel's love now. Malamang ay alam na ng Daorion ang lokasyon ng imbensyon ng binata. Kaya nang gawa ng paraan ng mga researchers ni Aven ng mga pag-extract ng sleeper peptide. Nalaman din ng matanda na nahulog na ang loob niya sa kanyang misyon. Bakit hindi na lang sa kanya iniutos ang pagpatay kay Nigel? Si Ali pa ang ginamit nito. Wala nang tiwala si Aven sa kanya. At kapag natuklasan nitong kinalaban niya, pati ang kaibigan, lalong masesementohan ng paniniwala ng matandang yon na nagtatraidor na siya. At alam nito kung paano siya saktan. Kung hindi si Nigel, uunahan nitong tapusin si Ali. Gagamitin itong dahilan ng pagpalpak ng babae sa misyon para patayin ito. O papipiliin siya ng amo kung sino kina Nigel at Ali ang ililigtas niya. Ali must have come for another reason. Kayang-kaya nitong patayin si Nigel kanina kung iyon talaga ang pakay nito. Pero sa halip na gawin iyon, binigyan siya nito ng baril. Royce jerked up. Lumapit siya sa mesa at hinagip ang baril. She examined it. It's a syringe, sabi ni Nigel na nakatuon din ng pansin sa hawak niya. Ginagamit yan para mag-inject ng neuropeptide sa mga brain cancer patients. Napakunot noo si Royce. Na makitang may nakatip sa ilalim ng grip ng syringe gun. Ito sa microchip. Kinuha niya iyon at isinaksak sa PC niya. What happens if it's injected into a person who doesn't have brain cancer? The subject will feel a head rush that lasts for an hour post-infection. Mild irritation and pain sa parte ng braso niya na tinurukan. Amnesia? Tanong ni Royce. Nakibit-balikat si Nigel. I'm not sure. It's never been tested on healthy subjects before. Why? Because Ali's mission is to erase someone's memory using this. Ibinaba niya ang baril. Whose memory? Tanong ni Nigel. Tinitigan nito si Royce. Sa akin. Pinapanood ni Royce ang recorded video file sa microchip na iniwan ni Ali. Ayon dito, pinag-uutos ni Aven na dukutin siya. Hindi niya alam kung hinala lang ng lalaki o alam na nito na nahuhulog na ang loob niya kay Nigel. Pero ang balak nito ay gamitin siya para pilitin si Nigel na magtrabaho sa Orion at tulungan ng mga engineers doon na gumawa ng isang data server na may kapasidad na mag-imbak ng mga alaala at mga kaisipan mula sa utak ng isang tao. Nagtagumpay na umano ang Orion na dukutin ang presidente ng Pilipinas at plano ng grupo na burahin ang memorya ng Pangulo. Pero dahil alam ni Ave na importante din ang nalalaman ng presidente, gusto nitong mapareserve ang utak ng leader ng bansa. Sa kasalukuyan ay isang impostor ang nasa Malacanang at puppet ito ng Orion. Madali iyong maisasagawa ng grupo dahil nasa ibang bansa ang mga taong nakakakilala sa presidente tulad ng first lady at ng first daughter. Nagpapagaling pa dahil sa pinsalang sinapit nito sa tawi-tawi. Balak ng Orion na kay Royce gamitin ang peptide na nilalaman ng syringe para burahin ang mga alaala niya. Sa ganoong paraan daw ay mas pagbubutihin ni Nigel ang pagtatrabaho dahil buhay at alaala niya ang nakataya. Binigyan ng 3 araw si Ali para makumpleto nito ang misyon, ang makidnap si Royce at may administer ang peptide. Ito na rin daw ang dapat ang makontak kay Nigel para bigyan ito ng instruction. Sapat din ang 3 araw para makalayo ang lalaki at makapagtagpo mula sa galamay ni Aven.